Hi, this is Doug from Homes Now, Not Later. I just wanted to share a few updates with you all. It's been a little while since we did a video. I just wanted to report that, we all know that the weather has gotten pretty cold this year. We're at 10 degrees. We're going to be at below freezing for the whole week. And that is going to cause a big problem for a lot of people who are trapped out there. I wanted to report on our end that both villages are warm and cozy right now. We have some frozen water pipes at Swift. The porta potties at both locations aren't able to be serviced when the weather is this cold, but as long as it doesn't go on for multiple weeks, we should be okay. Unity Village has been in operation for around 2.5 years. And Swift Haven this week will be in operation for a full year. Swift Haven was started last year when the temperatures got cold and there was a camp at City Hall. This kind of goes back to what I've been saying for the last year is I think that this disbanding the homeless strategy, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I think disbanding the homeless strategies work group was a mistake because it was like the one place that all the service providers and government officials could meet in one place on a regular basis and discuss, strategies or actions to work on, sheltering people when they need it. I thought that if it was disbanded, that these agencies would have a harder time coordinating, and that they would not have as good of a coordinated response as they could have. And that appears to be true. There seems to be not that many options other than base camp and the overflow shelter, and we're actually on there too, but we're a year-round shelter. This is kind of what I was going back to, that I think that there needs to be more year-round sheltering options, because you can prevent the emergency from occurring in the first place. So, every time where we get cold weather, it's always like people are moving around really quickly. There's an emergency. There's the government has to open a shelter, and only while it's cold, and it's usually a day or two too late after the cold has already hit. A few people die every year as a result. And it could have been prevented in the first place. And if you had more year-round sheltering options, then it would be that when it snows, we can just enjoy the snow and be warm and cozy on the inside of our tiny home, or wherever we happen to be, without worrying about people out there dying in the cold. Homes Now was prepared. We are still prepared to do a third site. That would help another 25 more people. We can scale up quickly since it's run by the residents, and we're willing to do that whenever that becomes available. We're looking for land either through a private owner or the county or the city or whoever, or the state, or whoever would be willing to do it. And when I did look at the city's winter shelter actions page, I did see something that was a little concerning to me. It says 2021-2022 winter actions, and it shows the extreme weather warming place, which is the library lecture room, during the day, but not at night. So after 7 p.m. they have to go, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if it's really cold outside, it seems like it's worse at night than it is during the day. And it shows the emergency shelters. It shows emergency shelter base camp as an option, which I'm sure they're pretty full. We have the young adult winter shelter locker room at Civic Field Complex, which is cool, whatever. And then it says other shelter opportunities. Emergency shelter for families with children, contact the Opportunity Council. And then we're listed on here. Unity Village, 210 Mackenzie, operated by HomesNOW, and Swift Haven, operated by HomesNOW. But what I found concerning when I was reading this was this part. Swift Haven, operating until spring of 2021. As far as what's been said before by the city and in our weekly meetings with them, they have indicated that they did not intend to close the village. And in spring is when our contract is up for renewal. So, like, we really can get renewed in spring. And that is when the paperwork is supposed to switch over to another renewal, as far as what we've been told. But when I see something like, until spring 2021, I'm like, okay, are they not going to renew us or whatever? So I'll have to ask the city about that this week. I'm a little concerned about that. We've shown that over the last year we can operate a site successfully and safely, and help people find housing, and that we're even ready to do more. So shutting down capacity just as the eviction moratoriums are expiring and everything like that, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. And then as for the argument of using the ball field, I mean, there's 4 baseball fields, and the one that we're at, the parking lot that we're at in the upper field, even during the season when they were playing, most people were able to park in the lower lot down by the other fields and walk a little further. But people that were handicapped or whatever that needed that close parking, we just let them drive right through the front gate and park down by the second gate where they could walk and watch the game. So I really hope that the city will not end our contract in spring. That would leave 25 people with nowhere to go, which would be unfortunate, and it would set us back as a city and as an organization. But look, as you can see, though, there is not a lot of options right now. I go back to what I was saying before, more options for people, year-round options, and that would prevent these emergencies from occurring every year. And so I just don't know why there's not more action on it. It seems like the argument I see a lot of from officials when they are speaking publicly is that they're afraid that people will move here that are homeless, that they'll see it as a mecca or of sorts to come here. And the fact is that that's not really true. Whether somebody's rich or whether somebody's homeless or middle class, you typically have about 75% that came from the region, came from Whatcom County or came from Bellingham, and then you have like around 25% who did not. And that is true no matter what your income level is. And the ratio of people that have stayed at our villages has been more tilted toward people that grew up here, rather than we don't discriminate based on that, but just the applications we get and who gets in is typically people that grew up here. And so I think that and people need help everywhere, so they need help in every city, and the fact is that more people will go to the cities like Bellingham or Seattle or wherever, because that's where all the services are. That's where you have to go to apply for everything, to find housing and everything like that. And so it just makes sense why the cities kind of bear the brunt of that a little bit more. But in any case, I don't. And also, too, as an update, we do have residents of both villages doing outreach right now to try to get, it's only a little bit, we are totally inadequate to help everyone out there, but we're trying to get our, blankets, sleeping bags, hand warmers, socks, anything to keep people warm out there. and we're doing the best we can. But again, preventing the emergency in the first place would be the way to go. And I know that it's too late now because we're already at that point. But we're ready to do more. I think other organizations are ready to do more as well, like SOS or Garden View just opened, so there should be some openings there for people. I'm surprised Garden View isn't actually listed on the emergency shelter options, but we are. There's a few slots open there, so that'd be cool if they could help as well. But I just don't think that it would be a good idea to end in spring 2021. And in fact, in the previous presentations the city has made to the public in their recommendations that were passed by the council, they did actually say that they were committed to maintaining the 2 tiny home villages that HomesNOW operates, as well as finding a site to move them to when they would have to move. So if Swift Haven had to move, then hopefully the city would have a spot for us and would help us move there. We're not necessarily against moving, but like for it to just be like, well, shut down now, that wouldn't be a smart idea on the city's part. So I just hope that they listen to logic and make the right call there. What else? Is there anything else here? On the good news front, there were 2 more tiny homes delivered to Unity Village. Habitat for Humanity was generous enough to build the structures for us. So a big thank you to Habitat for Humanity for building the 2 tiny homes. They are now complete, and they are now on site at Unity Village, and we got them just in time to help 2 more people out of the cold. I also wanted to give a big thank you to the Bellingham Police Department, because they provided a police escort for Habitat for Humanity to move the 2 tiny homes to Unity Village, because we were over the legal height limit. So putting the tiny homes on the trailer and moving them, we were over the 13-foot, 6-inch, I think is what it is, limit. So the BPD provided a police escort, and they were able to find a route that worked, and so that was a huge help. It saved us a lot of time. And then also, of course, to the city for donating the building materials to build the structures. So, when organizations can partner and work together for a common goal, it can happen really fast. Like Swift Haven, for example, also happened really fast because the county provided the structures, the city provided the infrastructure and the spot to do it on, and HomesNOW, with our resident managed approach, is the operator, and we've proven with 2 sites that we can run it safely and effectively. And so all I ask is you just, anybody that in the government or anybody in general, all I ask is that you look at what we've been able to do and let us help more people. Straight up, that's basically all we're asking for. So anyway, what else? There must be something else. All I have to also, some other good news is HomesNOW is in the future trying to do more, perhaps help other groups trying to do the same thing that we do in other cities. It doesn't have to be us personally, but so for example, I'm working closely with another group out of Denton, Texas, called the Denton Basic Services Center, and they are going to be opening a tiny home village that is modeled off of HomesNOW with the resident managed approach. And so they haven't gotten final approval yet, but it's moving in that direction. They did a petition and to say we want a tiny home village in Denton, and they got over 20,000 signatures. So and their city council is really on the edge of approving them for a site. And so, and I work with them on a regular basis, so I'm glad that we're able to get our model out there and help more people. And I think that, I don't know, we're just doing the best we can, and we're ready to do more, and we're doing good. And the residents of both villages are running them safely and effectively, and we have no major complaints right now. So other than that, we want to do more when we're not able to because of what's available to us. But as soon as we get approval, we can do a third one too. So anyway, good luck out there with this cold weather. I'm one of the lucky ones in my cozy, warm house. Residents of both villages are some of the lucky ones in their cozy little houses. And I just want cozy little houses for all. So, I mean, it's not rocket science. So, anyway, you guys take it easy and good luck.